a tutorial for you. One of my friends asked if I wanted to do an ornament exchange, and I thought that was such a cute idea, and instead of buying an ornament for them, I decided I wanted to create one. So I'm going to show you how to make this cute little snowman couple right here. I'm going to show you how to make one of these snowmans, and if you decide that you would like to make them into a couple, you absolutely can glue them together and form a cute little couple here. This ornament is going to my friend Jeff and Gina, who live out of state from us, but they're such good friends to us, and I really hope they enjoy this ornament. It's super cute. And just to give the person credit, I saw a picture of these little snowmans that are crocheted on Pinterest, and I actually don't know who that person is, and I can't even find the picture anymore. I actually can only find the snowman with the little reindeer hat. But if you know who I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments below, and I would be more than happy to stick their information in the down bar, so let me know. It's super easy to make, and I'll go through it step by step, so hopefully you can create your own. If for some reason you find this tutorial too hard to create, I hope you still enjoyed the video. So if you enjoy more videos like these, please give me a thumbs up and do subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a good New Year. So let's get this tutorial started. For this project, you will need to start off with a crochet needle. I think I'm using a 2.7 here, and you're going to need some yarn. I'm going to show you guys how to make a basic sphere, and once you know how to do a sphere, you pretty much can make all the parts of this project. So start by wrapping the yarn around the needle, and you're going to take your needle underneath the yarn and pull through. Take it underneath the yarn and pull through that loop, and once you tighten it up, you'll notice you have one knot around your crochet needle. To start your circle, you're going to need a few chains, so just take your crochet needle underneath the yarn and pull through, place it underneath the yarn and pull through, and do it one more time, and once you're done, you will notice that you'll have at least 3 chains. Your chain should look a lot like braids. Now take your needle and you're going to place it through your very first knot that you created. You should have 2 loops on top of your crochet needle, and you're going to take your yarn, just take it underneath the yarn and pull this yarn through your 2 loops. You just created a very tiny little ring. Now let's expand this ring into a larger circle. So place your needle through the center of your ring, take some yarn through the center, and you should have 2 loops on your crochet needle. Take some more yarn and pull this yarn through your 2 loops, and you made your first crochet knot. You're going to repeat this knot several times through the center of your ring. Once you repeated the process at least 8 times, you're going to place your needle through the very first knot you created, take some yarn and pull through all the loops, and you should have connected your second ring of knots. So you should have 2 rings and a larger circle now. Place your needle underneath the yarn and pull through, and you should make a single chain. To expand your circle, you're just going to make the same single knot over and over again. All you're doing is placing your needle through the little braids on the top, or the chains. You're going to pull some yarn through, and you should have 2 loops on your crochet needle, take some yarn and pull through the 2 knots. And you're just going to continue down the line. In order to keep your circle flat and not curling up on the edges, on some of these knots you're actually going to put 2 knots per chain instead of doing 1 to 1. So as you can see here, I'm going to make a single knot, and then I'm going to advance my needle to the next one and make another single knot. Now instead of going to the next one, I'm placing another knot in the exact same one I did in the previous one, and then continue to advance on. This helps make you make really large rings that are nice and flat. So here I have at least 4 rings, and now I'm going to start to make this piece curl into a sphere. So I'm going to make the same knots I've been making throughout the entire project, except this time I'm not going to expand any, which means I'm going to put 1 knot per knot. There will be no expansions. All of my knots will only have 1 to 1 instead of having 2 per 1. You're going to do this for 3 consecutive rows, and as you can see, after 3 rows, my little sphere is already curling up on the edges. Now to make my ring smaller, instead of advancing 1 to 1 as I would here, I'm going to skip this hole and just make a regular knot and continue to crochet. And I skip a ring about every 3 times. As you keep skipping knots, you'll notice that the rings get progressively smaller, and before it gets too small, you're going to take some pillow stuffing. This is literally just pillow stuffing, but you can buy some stuffed animal stuffings at the store. And you're going to stuff your little sphere up and then continue to crochet as you would normally. Towards the very end, I'm pretty much skipping every other knot. When you reach a point where you can no longer crochet, you're going to cut off the extra yarn, pull it through the ring, and take the back of your crochet needle and tuck it into your piece. Now, if you don't want to sit here and tuck the extra yarn into your piece, you can always just cut it off. So I made 2 spheres, one's smaller than the other. To make the larger one, I actually had a circle of 5 rings instead of 4. And for the beanie, I just took some green yarn and made half a sphere that should fit around the smaller head. My froggy beanie has some eyes, so I just crocheted some flat little circles just like I did to start off the head of my snowman. And I made a green one and a white one. The green one has 1 extra ring, so it's a little bit larger than the white ring, and the white part is going to form the whites of the frog's eyes. You of course are more than welcome to sew all your pieces together, but I think hot gluing it is just a lot easier for me, so I just hot glued all my pieces together. So once you have the body stuck together, you're going to need some animal eyes. I bought these at Joann's hobby store, but if you can't buy them there, you can absolutely buy them online. They are just called animal eyes, and you can stick them onto the head where you think they should be positioned. And I'm going to form a cute little smile on my froggy hat. I just took some extra red yarn, just cut a really small piece, and with my crochet needle, I'm just pulling the red yarn through the beanie where I think the smile will be. And my smile is just a really simple V. To finish off the beanie, I took some black felt and cut it into small little circles that are smaller than the whites of the frog's eyes. And I'm going to glue these circles in the center to form the pupils of the frog eyes. Position them on the lateral side of the beanie, and you can hot glue them on or you can sew them on. I just think this beanie is so cute, and I wanted to give it some extra pink cheeks, which I also cut from some felt. Now for the scarf, you can just take some red and white yarn and braid it. What I did is tied the 2 pieces together, and I just twirled the red and the white yarn together. Just make sure that when you twirl it, you don't let it go, because if you do, it will unravel. And once you have it twirled all the way from beginning to end, you're going to let it loop on top of each other so it actually twirls on 2 layers. And when it does that, it will no longer unravel. Just make sure you tie a knot on the opposite end and cut off all the extra yarn. I love it when scarves have a little unraveling parts at the very end, so I just took my crochet needle and broke up the pieces of yarn so it looks like it has more texture at the very tip. And you're just going to tie this around your snowman's neck however you want, and you can hot glue it so it stays in place, or you can just sew it on or tie a knot. Now all you're missing are the arms and buttons, so I took some brown pipe cleaners and I'm going to make it into the letter Y shape. I chose pipe cleaners because they're really easy to mold into the shape that you desire, and because it has an extra wire inside it to keep it stiff, it can actually point outwards and stay up without it drooping down easily. And once you have it into a Y shape, I'm just going to position them on the neck where the arms will be, and you can hot glue them or you can use any other type of way you can stick onto it. I also gave my snowman some buttons. They're these cute little teal colored buttons I made from polymer clay. I just took a flat little circle, poked 4 dots in the center, and that pretty much made a button. And I also took some red sewing string and made a small little smile and hot glued it so it stayed in place. For the cheeks, I used some light pink eyeshadow and gently tapped it underneath on the sides of the eyes, and that will give your snowman some really cute blush. And that, guys, is how I created one adorable little snowman for the winter holidays. Now, if you wanted to create the ornament that I made, you need to have at least 2 of them. So here are the 2 snowmen and women, maybe, snowmen that I created. And I formed a little heart just from felt and some pipe cleaners, and I just wrote on a piece of paper the names of my friends and hot glued them together. So your holiday ornament should be done by now, and all you have to do is hang it on your tree. That, guys, is is how I created this cute little ornament. I hope you enjoyed the video. For more like these, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you haven't already yet. And if you would like to see some videos on my personal life, like vlogs and videos about my dogs, you can check out my personal channel, Mio Mango, for more. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my username is Flying Mio. You can check out some previews of crafts that are coming up and just different snapshots of my life. And until then, I will catch you guys soon. Happy holidays, everyone, and be safe. Bye!